Yo, welcome to the SEO Rapper Podcast, number 6. I'm Charles Lewis, aka the SEO Rapper. Feel free to call me Chuck. And this is the place where I try to take different digital marketing initiatives and really explain and go over them in a way that's easy to understand and kind of entertaining as well. And so we've covered everything from improving your target audience to PPC tactics to YouTube SEO and a few others. Go check those out at theseorapper.com. Today we're looking at reputation management. Reputation management. That'll make sense for you in a few. But dig this, man. I found a dope article by the homie Brent Barnhart. He posted it on Sprout Social. It's called Reputation Management, How to Stay in Good Standing with Your Audience. Right? Reputation management, how to stay in good standing with your audience. They published this last year, February 2021. I'll post a link to it below on the site. So it's a pretty dope article. And he kind of went in and gave some stats first. He talked about how 53% of consumers like or follow a brand on social to learn more about it. So just think about that, right? In this age of online media and marketing and everything else that we do online and digital, most users will search a brand, right? Find that brand on Google, find that brand on Yelp, find that brand's social channels and either like them or follow them and engage with them just to kind of see how that business is before they even start doing business with it. Dig this, here's another step for you. Some users and most users actually need to see at least 10 reviews before they decide to take action, right? Whether they are, choosing a hotel or choosing a resort or choosing a restaurant or shopping for a product or looking for a service, right? Like an AC or a roofer or a locksmith or whatever your business is, right? Most people who will do business with you once they find you online, they want to see some reviews. They want to see what these people had to say. Is it 5 stars? Is it 1 star? Is the service great? Is this service trash? Right? They really want to know. And so it's important that your online reputation is managed, right? How do you stay in good standing with these people? And so the homie Brent, he posted this article and he listed kind of 5 steps that any business can follow. And so let's get into it. Number 1, he says, determine where your online reputation currently stands, right? Determine where your online reputation currently stands, right? He says, figure out how people feel, right? So, and I agree with that. You need to go and see what people are saying about your brand right now, right? So the easiest way to do that is to just literally search for your brand, search for your company name, and check the results. Search on Google, see what your Google results look like. And by the way, you should have like ownership of your Google My Business page, and you should already know what your Google reviews look like. But in the case of reputation management, search Google for your brand and see what your reviews look like, right? Then you may want to search Yelp, right? Go see what Yelp says about you. Go search the BBB, search Bing, although Bing will likely return some Yelp results. You want to search anywhere where people can actually leave a review and leave a comment about your business and see what the averages are, right? What's your average star rating? Is it 1? Is it 3? Is it 5? How many reviews do you have, right? And so you want to first off just get an understanding of where you're at, right? So once you know that, then you can figure out what your strategy looks like moving forward, right? Either you're in a oh crap, we got to do some cleanup, we have to fix a bunch of stuff, we got to do a lot of responses, or you could be in a situation where things are kind of moving smoothly and you just maybe want to amplify your brand some. So definitely, number 1, determine where you currently stand. Number 2, he says, track your company's mentions. Right? Track your company's mentions. And so this is more of like a social media strategy, right? So people who have literally mentioned your company's brand in their post. They added you, they mentioned you in a direct mention, maybe a message, or they used a hashtag or something like that. He says, see how they mentioned you, right? Because if they added you, like if on Instagram or Facebook, if they mentioned your company name, then obviously they're talking about you, either something good or something bad. Unfortunately, bad news travels faster than good news. And so the likelihood that they're saying something bad is up there, right? If they're mentioning you, right? And so that's why you put stuff in place to encourage people to post positive things, right? But number two is what he's saying is track your mentions. And that's important because this does a couple things for you. One is that you see directly what people are saying. But two, which is kind of key from a marketing perspective, it literally identifies your target audience, right? These are people who have experience with your brand and actually taking the time to say something. And so you have an opportunity to fix that and create a better experience and a repeat business, a repeat customer, right? So tracking mentions is important. So here, number 3, he says, be proactive and positive as you respond to your mentions, right? So it's kind of carryover from the previous point. After you see these mentions, right, be proactive and positive, right? Well, so if you have to take some time to actually go and find them and you weren't aware of them, then you're not necessarily being proactive, right? But you can be positive once you do find them because you need to respond, right? You need to take an action. These people said something either good or bad, right? So if they said something good, then it's great. Thank you. Thumbs up. Appreciate it. Retweet it, share it, screenshot it, and repost it. Do all of the above. Right. And depending on your product or service and what they actually said that was positive, you may want to offer a follow-up or DM them a coupon or something to kind of keep servicing going. Maybe offer a referral if they refer somebody, right? Something like that. Now, on the flip side of that, let's say that mention is negative, let's say it's not really good news, then what Barnhart is saying here is that be positive when you respond. Right. And so you have to respond. And so how do you respond? Well, you need to address their concern. Right. If their concern is true, then validate that. If it's not true, then provide receipts if necessary. Some stuff may not be worth getting into a public debate. Right. Because it is a public debate. Let's say that review or that mention was on Google. And so you respond on Google and then they respond on Google. Now you had this kind of back and forth about a negative experience that everybody who happens to see your Google page will see, right? And so that may not be the best place to try to show receipts and prove you're right. It's not necessarily a Burger King situation where you have it your way and the customer's always right, but you do want to manage perception. Right. And some things may be done privately. You may give a public response that addresses their concern and apologizes if you were in the wrong and then promises to make it right. And then you reach out privately and go over the details and you make it right. Right. And so that's how you can be proactive and positive when you respond. And I'll take a second note to say another thing you can do while you're responding is grow your audience, right? So if these are social media responses, then not only should you be responding, but you should definitely be following them back, right? And looking at their followers and maybe even following someone who they're following, right? Because these people engage with your brand. And so their followers and their people who like them will likely engage with your brand also, right? So take advantage of kind of increasing your market share while trying to improve your reputation management. Let's see, number four, he says, take control of your company's narrative, right? Take control of your company's narrative. This is key because a lot of times we have opportunities to do so as a business and you just may not do it. You may not, like he says, take advantage of it, right? And so one of the things I try to do with every site that I'm working on is I incorporate Google reviews, right? I use some plugins that will tie a website over to the corresponding Google My Business page. And so their reviews will be displayed on the page, right? And then those reviews will be displayed dynamically. They'll refresh. It'll always show the latest 4 and 5 star reviews. And so as those websites get visits, the visitors can see the latest reviews that people have added, right? And so that's one way that I'm able to kind of help control the narrative. That way, in case you did click on an ad and then you landed on the site and you were probably debating on requesting a quote or making a phone call, then these reviews that are already here kind of help push our narrative about our service and may influence you to make a faster decision, right? And there are plenty of other ways to take control of your narrative. Like posting reviews on your site is one. You may want to post more content that supports what's going on at the business, right? Maybe birthday functions, maybe team building events, maybe things like that, maybe direct quotables and videos from the CEO or owners, just kind of highlighting business culture and what you guys believe and things like that. And then obviously some positive client experiences with that. And that's a good way to post publicly things that are happening with your business that support the positive narrative that you're trying to put out there. And so you have to take control of the narrative, because if you don't, right, then you leave it up to the end users to kind of post what they want, and you leave it up to the people who see that to kind of believe it or not, right? And so take advantage when you can. His last one on here, number 5, he says, take action based on comments, criticism, and analytics, right? So take action. He's saying once you've figured out all this stuff, you've seen what the mentions are, you've kind of figured out who has what to say, you've kind of understood what products or services that they struggled with. Now you got to take action, right? And sometimes it's big action, sometimes it's small action, right? If it was a minor infraction, for lack of a better word, or something that really wasn't your fault, then you fix it, you make sure that that's done, and you move forward. But maybe you noticed a trend, right? Maybe you notice something that's kind of consistent across Yelp and Google and Bing and everything, and they all say that maybe you do this wrong, or maybe service is slow, or maybe the drinks were bad. Whatever the consistent negative response is, then you got to address that, right? Because if you don't, then you're just going to continue getting more negative reviews. And so it could be either a product change, right? It could be a service adjustment. It could be a total change in your process, right? But identify it, then make the changes necessary so you can continue to provide the service you need without obviously losing money or anything like that. But more importantly, that you can prevent more negative reviews and instead kind of turn those over to positive reviews. And he says use the data to support that. And I agree. I'm a big fan of data. And so if the data says that look, this many people are having this same problem, then get out your feelings if you feel like they're just not being fair. No, numbers don't lie, right? Fix the problem. And so I'll close with saying this. Referrals and digital word of mouth are still the best type of lead generation, right? Anytime somebody's verbally making a recommendation of your company, or sharing it, or emailing you, or making that connection online, that's always going to be the best form of lead generation. And reputation management is kind of one of the best ways to support that, because we all check reviews. We all see what the others have to say. I don't care if we're on YouTube, we look at comments. If we're shopping on Amazon, before we purchase, we look at reviews. And we just do. It's built into our nature. And so managing your reputation is the best way to make sure that your narrative is out there in the way you want it. So shout out to Brent Barnhart, good folks over at Sprout Social. He called this one Reputation Management, How to Stay in Good Standing with Your Audience. Definitely a dope article. So you know me, typical SEO rapper fashion. Shout out to Lord the J on the beats. We put something together. It's called Reputation Management. Check this.
It's the SEO rapper. Reputation Management. How to stay in good standing with your audience.
Lord J.
Shout out to Sprout Social. Brent Barnhart. How to stay in good standing with your audience.
Reputation management with your audience.
Let's go.
Reputation management with your audience. Reputation management with your audience.
Let's go.
Reputation management with your audience.
Let's go.
Reputation management is so important, I'ma get straight to it.
Let's go.
Shout out to Sprout Social and Brent Barnhart, they told us how to do it. How to stay in good standing with your clients. First focus on honesty and kindness. Pay attention then apply it, get it down to a science. You'll earn more finance. Determine where you currently stand, that's number one when we start this journey. Third party reviews and client feedback, DMs and social media postings. Number 2, track company mentions, then reply with good intentions. Don't be offensive. Search hashtags, keywords, and other extensions. Look out for the fake reviews and the false news. They usually have a fake look. It might be on Google, it might be on Yelp, Bing, IG, or even Facebook. Number 3, be proactive and positive. Respond quickly and not derogative. Number 4, take control of your narrative. It's imperative to show company character. Repost reviews on your own site so they can see it when they swipe. If they considering taking action, then they might. Give me that opt-in, that call, that quote, that like. Number 5, all about the comments and the critics. Study the analytics. Make changes that improve the service and the visits. And I ain't talking no gimmicks, just fixes based on statistics. Every company is different. Digital word of mouth is still the best way to get it. Reputation management will fix it if you focus on your specifics. Improve response time and logistics. Use the tool, get it done in minutes. Like click here, check that, upload, finished. Bow. Reputation management. 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 Let's go.
So that was reputation management. Hope y'all like it. That's the newest available, released right now from the SEO Rapper. Go stream that wherever you listen to music. Apple, Amazon, Tidal, Spotify, you name it, it's there. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And until next time, keep your marketing going. Stay consistent. Peace.